So I synchronize that into the system, and this is where you start moving, that information uh, here. So if this is like financial information that you need to input into your tax software, you can click on these little boxes here, and that means that it's copied, and you can just copy and paste that over to your tax software or wherever you need to bring that over. All right, so since we know that is correct, maybe they are missing something. I believe I'm missing a W-2 because they sent me a picture of their dog. And as cute as that puppy is, I actually need the W-2. So
And my puppies are really cute.
I bet. And that's really common, by the way. They might send you a blurry picture or a really badly scanned document if they're not using, the app camera. Our app camera on their phone is smart. So that kind of AI integrated into the camera will scan correctly any documents and make them more legible. So if that's the case that I'm missing something, again, my instructions are, well, if they're missing something, tag them missing. Well, let's tag them. Let's tag them missing docs. So I'm going to tag them missing docs, and I'm going to complete my task here. Okay, I'm going to do save and exit. By doing this, it should go to the missing docs stage. If I didn't do this, it'll jump all the way to manager review. So in case they're not missing docs, what if they need an extension? So I just tag them extension needed, and it'll go to that extension needed stage. Right now we're going to do missing. And it beautifully moved to this next stage. What's going on in this next stage? It looks like there is a task that was assigned to me. So this task, let's take a look at it. I'm going to look at my subtasks. Send a client request and make sure that the request is linked to the job. All right, so they're missing a W-2, right? So I'm going to click on New right up here. I'm going to click on Send Client Requests. Client requests is this great feature in which you can ask your client for something that you're missing, right? Anything. You can use templates. Again, you can build those out in the template section. I don't want to use a template because my client's missing a W-2. Your client might be missing financial information or a document. Right now, I'm going to do this. You are missing W-2, right? Because you sent me a picture of your puppy. And W-2 is the name of the section. And I am going to do a file upload section. This is similar to when you build out an organizer. You can have a section that says upload a document, please. So right now, please upload W-2. And I can add more questions if I need clarity on something. Maybe I need the full address here because they spelt it wrong or whatever. Then you can add those questions. If you need to have a date clarified, please add your date of birth, something like this, right? You can add short codes as well, but I'm not going to do that today because I'm, a little bit in a hurry. Do you want to save this as a template? Yeah, why not? I might have other people missing these 3 items, maybe. Now, this is security options. This is really important to understand. Once you send this out, if you want your client to sign in to the portal to be able to answer this, then you're going to toggle this on. If you toggle this off, then your client will receive notification just as they would otherwise that says, hey, you have a client request to fill out. Click here to fill that out. It'll open, a browser in which these questions are going to be available, and they can submit them right away without having to log in. So it's up to you if you want to require a login or not. Sometimes it's nice to not require it so they can answer the question very, very quickly. But sometimes it's sensitive data, so you do want to require a sign-in maybe. So this is up to you. It's just a really nice feature to have in these scenarios. So I'm not going to require the the sign in, or actually I am, because I think Katie, you're logged in right now anyway. So I'm going to require it, and I'm going to send that over. So by doing this client request, by doing the plus sign, it automatically links it. But if you actually had created this through the new button, client request right up here, you can still link to the job here by looking for the job itself, right? The purpose of the linking, again, is so it shows up in here. The purpose of linking is so that everything shows up in here and you know what the heck's going on with your client. So I already sent that client request, so I'm going to hit complete here, and we're just waiting for the client. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for the client to fill this out. So go ahead and fill that out, Katie, if you can, please. And we'll see how that looks like shortly. So what we're doing is just going through each stage and testing it out. Again, what I'm showing you is just some nice features. You don't necessarily need to use these stages. You can actually just use a missing info section, in which you can create also a task that says, hey, send a client request, right? Same thing. You'll do the same thing. You'll set up a task for yourself to send a client request, or to anybody in the team, right? So I'll set it up as missing info just so I can show you what I mean. And this can be looking like this as well, right? So you can use these nice stages. I'm just using it for example's sake, but you don't need to have these stages. You can use some of these guys. So this task here needs to be completed in order to move forward to the next stage, right? And always the status is here.
It's submitted.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to cancel this guy out because this is just for example. All right, so I'll go back into active mode. And you mentioned you submitted. All right, so here it is. And when you open it, you'll see that I got the information that I need, the upload, and the information that I required was filled out correctly. All right, perfect.
Oh man, you're not going to show the pictures of my dogs?
Oh, did you have pictures? Let's see.
I did. That's
If you tend to lose everything, like, oh, where did everything go? Just open up that account again. The global search up at the top, okay, is going to be extremely helpful for you to come back into the account. The account itself has a workflow, and then you can isolate this particular job in their workflow tab. Okay, so again, we're in here and we have client requests, and we open this up. Whoops, it took me somewhere else. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. Let's see. Oh, so cute. There you
So
go.
that's Leia.
And we have our other W2, right?
And this one's Jethro.
Oh, So cute, adorable. And again, this might happen, everybody. They might send you a picture of the wrong thing. You want to get that corrected by sending a quick request. But thank you, Katie. So beautiful. I love them. That makes my day today. All right, perfect, everybody. So now that we have that going, I'm going to go back to the workflow. You can look at this view, or you can go to workflow, pipeline, and then
Can we
click
scroll
on the
down
first.
just a tiny bit?
Oh yeah. So we are in this view. You can also go to the account and click on workflow and get the same view. The difference here is that here you'll see all of your 30 jobs, and in the other you only see Katie's job, right? That's the only difference here between this view and the view under her account. All right, so it looks like, let's see. I believe I created this issue here when I'm going to hit save here. I created a small issue here when I did this drop down. It didn't trigger the move, but let's take a look at this again. So if the client already answered, which is perfectly fine, I actually forgot to hit complete here, right? So as soon as I hit complete, it's going to move to the next stage. So it was under missing info. Now it's under missing post-prep missing info. So we must have a new task. There it is. So this task is like, well, now you can complete, the information. So upload the tax return, because by now you should have completed it because you received the missing information. So I'll go ahead and upload that tax return to the client's folder. So I'm going to click on new, and I'm going to do document, and I'll do the sample here. And I'll put it here in 2025. All right, so I already linked that document here, right? And that was my task. So I'm going to go ahead and hit complete because I'm already done with that. All right, so now I'm in manager review, and as a manager, and I'm doing this as if I was a solo firm, by the way, because right now I don't have team members to be actually completing tasks. So in case you are a solo firm, this is exactly working how it should. And you just want to make sure that if you do have a team, make sure that they are being assigned correctly. If not, make the corrections to your pipeline, okay, to your templates and to the toggles that you require. So I'm going to pretend me as a manager, I already did this. This is perfect. It should go to the next stage. Now I'm under invoicing and a signature. I'm going to open this up here. And it looks like there's 2 tasks that need to be completed. So I need to invoice the client, and I can click on new, and I can click invoice. And I'm going to choose this tax prep template that I have, everything filled out on my behalf. I added a little note here. You have 15 days to pay this. I'm going to hit create. And now I have an invoice that needs to get paid, right? And now I need an e-signature. So I'm going to click on complete because I already did the invoice, and I need to do an e-signature. So I'm going to open up that sample document that needs to be signed. And remember, it needs to be in the folder with the green eye. That security level will allow for signatures. You can click on the 3 dots on the right side, request a signature, and I'm going to add Katie's name on here. I'm going to do just 3 reminders, and I'm going to hit send. Perfect. And if I go back here, well, this has already been completed. I'm going to hit complete. I'm going to do save and exit. Nothing should move to the next stage just yet. Why? Because we still have a pending signature and a pending payment. If I want to lock this document, right, to this invoice, again, you're going to hit, you're going to open it up, click on the 3 dots, you're going to click on edit info, and I don't have a payment provider linked to my account, but you will have it, because if you're going to want to take payments through a provider, like with a credit card or a bank transfer, right, with account number and routing number, which is the ACH, you need to have a payment processor here. You can still utilize these invoices if they pay you cash. So we're going to pay this off as if they paid us cash in a second, but just know link to invoice here is going to be easy for you. All right. So Katie, you let me know when you sign that pending item.
It is signed.
Okay. So I should see a document that's signed. Beautiful. The only thing that is pending is this payment, right? So if I create an offline payment, this means that this client paid me in cash, paid me $250, and I'm going to see a list of all the invoices this client has. I'm going to say this cash payment, I'm going to cancel out this specific invoice. So if they did pay me cash, I'm going to say that it is cash. And once that payment is resolved, notice that right now we're in this stage. If we hit reload, we should be moving to the e-sign. Perfect, because they paid. Finally, now that they paid me, now you know, they'll have that document available to them because it was locked, right? And now I could do the e-filing. I'll do the e-filing. It's not assigned to anybody, so that's a red flag. I think I need to modify this template to make sure that the right person is assigned, right? How do I do that? I click on edit. I go to that specific stage. Here we go. And I'm going to say whoever is assigned needs to do the e-filing. Or you're just going to open up the task. It's going to open up in another tab, and you should be able to change who that person is. I'm going to toggle this on because I am the person that is assigned to the job, so that should be assigned to me anyway. So coming back, let me go to pipeline, open the job up, and I still have this task that's pending. Even if it's not assigned to anybody, I know that I'm done with it. So I'm just going to hit complete. And by doing this, it should move to the very, very end, which is complete. What happened in this stage? There's nothing to complete really. What happened is the item that is internal. So I sent a thank you email, and it removed a returning client or new client and made them a returning client. So anybody that goes through this pipeline should automatically be a returning client because you provided a service, and you're going to be doing that over and over again. So that's how you successfully test a pipeline, everybody. I know it's a lot. I'm going to pause here. If you caught any important questions that I should answer, Katie, please bring them up, because it's a lot to review, but at the same time it's kind of easy. You just make sure that whatever stage you're on, it actually happens the way you want it to happen, right? Have you had any experience like this, Katie, in which you're testing something and you start catching any discrepancies that are not functional?
Absolutely. That's the wonderful thing. Like, you don't have to go and start a new pipeline from scratch because it's something's not working. You can just go in and edit the pipeline you're in until it works. And that's why we recommend having a test account that goes to your own personal email, or an email that you do not have connected as a team member to TaxDome, um, because then you can see how it's flowing, how an organizer is working, how any of it is working, so that you know what the client is seeing, you know what um, to expect on your side, is it's working, if it's not working. That way you can make sure that it's working the way you want to and the way that makes sense to the client, before you actually start working with the clients.
Right, exactly. So it takes a while to build this out, as you've noticed. It takes a couple days for you to map out your process and to build this out. You might pull your hair once in a while, but at the end of the day, building this out just sets a foundation so that you don't have to do much later on. You just create jobs and put them through a pipeline, and it just runs smoothly. I remember an infomercial from back in the day. You set it and forget it. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I think it was like a rotisserie chicken thing, but this is the same kind of thing. You set it and forget it. Everything's going to move forward automatically. Your team members are going to get notified when they need to complete something. They just need to know their duties, right? Their tasks. Those are things that are external to TaxDome, like dealing with the tax software, etc. And it's just really helpful to understand everything in general. Now, in the insight section, now that we have a couple of things going, it's really nice to, look at the KPIs that are going on. How many organizers haven't been filled out? How many signatures are pending, right? How many invoices haven't been paid out? And you can click on them and it'll take you to those sections in which you can um, identify who owes what. There's a balance on here. There's also a section called billing, and it'll give you all of the invoices in here. Back to insights, signatures. If you click on signatures, it'll take you again to some of the accounts, but you can always open up the information. There's signatures here that are pending. So out of all of your accounts, you'll see which accounts have one signature, or two, or three, or four, or five documents that they need to sign. So it's
You can
really
also
nice to
see that
see.
on the insight page. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's on here, right? Tasks that are overdue, that are assigned to you or all your team members, are going to be visible on here. Um, Please use this to your advantage, right? I don't have too much data to show here because I only have a couple of sample accounts, but you will be able to see all of that information, right? Priority levels, what is pending, what is overdue, according to the due dates that you set. So let me go ahead and just refresh everything here. Now, if you do need assistance later on going to the growth solution, our support plans are amazing. If you do need to grab, a couple of sessions with us, we can help you with, maybe an hour of support, or with 2 hours, or we can build out, a roadmap together and help you with your pipelines. This support plans are ongoing. We're always adding more plans as we move forward. We have implementation, ongoing support, we have training, workflow setup. So it depends on what you are needing. You can purchase some of these items. Otherwise, please utilize our help center and our chat support. They're always here to help. If you have like really quick questions, or really not getting something and you need one of the pros to answer the questions, please utilize the help support. But also please utilize our support plans if you ever need that additional help. Okay. All right, everybody. So I, really love that we had the ability to build out a pipeline, to test it out. And we covered quite a lot of things. There's actually more that we could cover, but again, this is just a boot camp. We go fast because we want to make sure that we at least touch upon everything that's possible at TaxDome. There's actually more things and more features that are always coming out, so please be on top of, you know, the news section here, what's new. Be on top of this because this announces new boot camps. This announces new features that are important for everybody to understand, right? I'm going to take, our time's almost over, but I want to address like a couple of questions here because we want to make sure that we address and appreciate the ones that are participating here live. And I want to address some questions that we haven't addressed here.
So first, we want to let everybody know that these Q&A questions answers will be emailed to everybody next Monday on the 19th. We do realize that they are not included in the daily emails, and that's why, it's because they will be all sent out next week.
Awesome. Yeah, you probably want to keep a record of all the questions that our team answers for you.